All right, so a couple of days ago, I taught you how to identify a function from a mapping diagram, but today we're going to talk more about what a function is. So your title for today is function rule. If you want to go ahead and pause and write this down, you can, but I'm going to talk about this slide, and then at some point you need to write it down. So whether you write it down first or after I talk about it, it should be in your notes. So it says a function rule is an equation that describes the relationship between inputs and outputs. In other words, if something's a function, we can write an equation for it. If it's not a function, like in our mapping diagrams, some of them we identified as not a function, those cannot be written as equations. So that's why we like to know what functions are, because if there's a pattern, if the x's don't repeat, then we can model it with an equation. So we've also been talking about this, but input is x. We can also call that the independent variable. It's what we have control over changing. The output is y. It's called the dependent variable because it is affected by x. Whatever we put in for x changes y. Y depends on our x. Okay, some people like to think of functions as machines. You put in a 2, and then you'd have 3 times negative 2, and you get out a negative 6. Okay, so first thing we're going to work on is writing these functions from words. And we did this a little bit when we talked about inequalities. So we're going to continue on with that, writing equations. So it says the output is always y, is always going to mean equal. The output is y is equal to 5 less than the input. So less than would be some subtraction. We have the input is x. 5 less than that means I'd be subtracting 5. Okay? The output is the square of the input. So the output is y equal. Square of the input would be x squared, that exponent of 2. The output is 1/4 of the input. The output is y equal to 1/4 of. Of is always going to mean multiply. So 1/4 times x. So I'm not going to put anything in between. I know when a variable and a number right next to each other, it means multiply, but you could use the dot for multiplication, or you could use parentheses. I want you to write down this yellow chart because it has some common words on it for you. So this is subtraction. Some words they might use is less than or difference. For addition, they might use more than or some. For multiplication, very often they use of. They could also use the word product. And for division, they usually use the word quotient. Okay, so this is a nice quick reference chart when you're doing these. Okay, what is the value of y equals 2x plus 5 when x equals 3? And we've done these before, but as a quick refresher, we're going to take this 3 and plug it in for x in our original equation. So we have y equals 2 times 3 plus 5. That would be 6 plus 5, which is 11. So y equals 11. Okay, what is the value of y when x equals 5? So we're going to do the same thing. Plug in 5 for x. Y equals 4 times 5 minus 1. 20 minus 1 is 19. All right, my input is 5, my output is 19. All right, filling in a t-table. So they gave us the inputs, we have to find the outputs, and then these are all points, they're ordered pairs. So again, this is some stuff that we've done before when we did linear equations. So it should be familiar to you. Now, they won't all be linear equations, but you're going to plug them in the same way. So here, I'm going to have y equals negative 2 plus 2 will give me 0. Y equals negative 1 plus 2 will give me 1. 0 plus 2 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay? And if they're linear, like this is a line, we could graph it as a line, and then there should be a pattern. Now, if this is not a line, there might not be a pattern that you can see. So keep that in mind. So here I have -2, 0, -1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, and 2, 4. Okay, we're going to try another one. This one also happens to be a line, but again, they won't always be. But I'm going to plug in -2 for x. So -2 times -2 is +4. 4 plus 1 is 5. -2 times -1 is +2 plus 1 would give me 3. -2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. -2 times 1 is -2 plus 1 is -1. And -2 times 2 is -4 plus 1 is -3. And again, because this was a line, there is a pattern of going down by 2 that only works if it's in this linear equation. So here I have -2, 5, -1, 3, 0, 1, 1, -1, and 2, -3. All right, this is your assignment. It's posted on Classroom and the same post as this video. You can do this in your spiral or on notebook paper, but I would suggest in your spiral because then you're less likely to lose it.